I think one of the opportunities we have as a university that is committed to being engaged, indeed the engaged university, is to show the value of fundamental research, to show the value of inquiry to the community. Because as we know, fundamental research, while intrinsically important, is what generates the new knowledge that results in benefits to the community. I think a lot of people in the community and government have difficulty understanding why it's important that we undertake that fundamental research, why we generate that new knowledge. And what an engaged university can do is to take to the community the benefits of its research capacity, the benefit of its knowledge generation capacity, and demonstrate at that end of the pipeline, if you want to use that metaphor, what really does result in terms of benefit for the community. So many times what seems in the laboratory to be curiosity-driven research ends up in the community as something that has huge social or environmental benefit. So the engaged university, I think, is not just about providing benefits to the community, but about building the case for support for knowledge generation and fundamental research inquiry. Well, I don't think there's any contradiction between being a world-class research enterprise, such as Simon Fraser University most clearly is, and being engaged with the communities that surround one. For one thing, I think research is informed by and benefits from the interplay between researchers within the university and those within the community who have knowledge and can add value. Even fundamental research has to take place within a social context and be informed by a social context, whether it's the ethics of genomic research, or whether it's the implications of some scientific breakthrough, or whether it's a new philosophical school of thought and how that might relate to the way society is developing. So yes, we need mechanisms to reach out to the community and connect to the community. We also need mechanisms to bring the knowledge that exists in the community into the university so it can form part of that inquiry and help to inform the research that in turn can enlighten the community. Well, I think we're at a very exciting time for people who have knowledge of the environment and who have developed expertise on environmental issues. And I say that because the environment is no longer, if it ever was, seen as a separate area of endeavor. I think there's a growing consciousness amongst government, amongst the private sector, amongst the larger public sector like universities and NGOs, that all the decisions we make must attend to environmental values. The whole issue of climate change, if we're going to address it successfully, is going to require everyone, as individuals, but also institutions, to think through what they do from an environmental point of view. One of the ways in which we as a university can contribute on issues of environmental significance, for example, is not only in our research, although we certainly can, and in our teaching, but also in the way we conduct ourselves as a manager of our lands, the way in which we go about managing our facilities. So, by way of example, University was established with a mandate not only to build a community, but to make it a model community in terms of sustainability, in terms of its water management systems, in terms of protecting the ecosystem. In fact, the whole idea of University was to take development rights that existed across much of Burnaby Mountain and concentrate them on a much smaller footprint so that that land on Burnaby Mountain could be preserved for the most part as park. And even on the smaller footprint, although the development will be more intense, there's a real attention to protecting environmental values. Now, one of those important values, obviously, is the value of Stony Creek and of that water source. And so I think as a university we can contribute by walking the walk, by showing what you can do by way of positive object lesson.